Hello and welcome to Sanctuary Educate podcast, where we will talk all things mindset, money management and our entrepreneurial journey. Along the way, we're going to throw in some amazing guests for your pleasure. I'm Shane Highland.
I'm Gareth Shears. This show is going to change your life and teach you skills that school never taught you.
Boom. Do you want to start with anything?
I know you got a cup of tea there. That's a turn up for a Monday.
I know. This
it's not proper tea though, is it?
No, it's not proper tea. It's raspberry and I don't know what it is. Well, Claire made it here because I'm feeling a bit under the weather.
Under the weather, you?
Yeah. Do you need to say anything to me after the weekend?
Well, I'm on the weekend. Well,
congratulations.
I did, but I don't think I didn't say we were going to win though, did I? But I
lost a bet.
I thought it'd be closer though.
I bet someone in the gym that we may win, but we'd win by less than 7. I had to pay up this morning.
I thought it would be a bit closer. Second half that we did play, you didn't play second half. You kind of played first half, didn't you? You didn't need to.
Didn't need to.
No.
Same
but John, who was in the stadium said, someone did say that they do, it might be Tommy Bowe actually, that they're going to have to learn to play right the way through because you can't do that in a World Cup.
Let's worry about that. On a more positive note, that's another game. I didn't realise this. I know this is a podcast about money and stuff like that and behaviours. Johnny Sexton hasn't played a game. I think somebody said...
Did he have a jaw operation or something?
5 weeks ago.
How'd you come back to a contact sport like that without kind of... And he was tackling, like he wasn't like...
He hasn't played 80 minutes in a year, seemingly. And he went off.
And he was really annoyed when he took him off. Did you see
he had a HIA again.
Did he?
Yeah, passed it again, as he does. Brilliant, Johnny. You know, it passes them every time. But, yeah. Do you know what? It was one of those things that... It would have been nice. Like, the stadium was superb. The WRU, for all their faults, start the process of winding people up brilliantly. Like the music that they do that's not on the TV that you see with the fireworks and stuff like that. Brilliant. But it would have been better if it was a more evenly contested game because the atmosphere in there was dire.
Really?
I went to queue up to the bar. Yeah, well, the bar in the second half because we couldn't get there in the first half. £7 a pint.
A flat beer.
No, it was. But
People.
The amount of people that were leaving at half time.
Really?
From our little area. I counted 15 people that walked out the gate. Now, the game wasn't cheap. Go and enjoy it. But I get it. They just got fed up.
Are we talking non-rugby fans then potentially?
There's a lot of talk about that at the moment the non-rugby fans have been pushed out because there's no atmosphere there, and it is as Roy Keane would say many years ago, it's the prawn sandwich brigade that have come into it, and the hospitality takes over, and it's more of an event, which I agree because they're making it more of an event, and the kids were there, and some of the kids near us loved it because the fireworks go off, the music, the roof closed, everything about it is superb. And then Wales didn't turn up, or maybe they weren't allowed to turn up. I don't know because I don't understand rugby that much. But it would have been nicer if it was more of an even contest because the atmosphere would have been there. It was just dead, and with all this going on in Welsh rugby, maybe it was intentionally dead. A lot of empty seats there.
Really? John, one thing I didn't look at, I noticed that at Twickenham there was a lot of empty seats for it was Twickenham Scotland game, wasn't it?
Pass. I should know.
I think it was, but I had a lot of empty seats. So that was quite interesting. But there was a lot of tickets left that I kind of.
From a motivational point of view, it must be hard.
I was offered tickets on the morning, the day before, but I was quite happy. Sat on the sofa.
I brought a friend of mine over from Ireland, and he's never been to an away game before, and he loved it because he said they don't even do this in the Aviva Stadium, and the roof closed made it all the better.
Oh, it does.
And he was in his element. We got superb tickets right by the edge of the pitch. The only downside is we were row 1, so we were row 1 where all
the front row.
Yeah, 110 metres away from where all the action started in the first half and where all the action started in the second half. So we saw nothing.
Screen,
yeah, we looked up at the big screen. So I've got
I'm
a
terrible
sort of,
for that, though.
Yeah.
I'll sit there and I end up watching the screen.
But it was great. I think what year are we in? 2023, 2021 it was on. If it was on, that was when Ireland were here.
No, there was no crowds?
I don't think
2020
there was.
Wasn't crowds. 2021.
So 2019 was the last time Ireland were over.
Yeah.
And you could see there was tens of thousands of people, and the atmosphere outside was good with them, and they had a bit of fun. But it was just dead. I don't know if the whole issues that are going on in the background of the WRU added to that, because speaking to one or two people, that they were saying that work in media and TV, and that they were saying, we're not allowed to do this, we have to be careful, we can't do this, we can't record things live in case there's a protest, and you kind of think, oh guys,
really?
And of course when you go to a restaurant and somebody comes out with a plate and they say, don't touch this, be careful now, this plate is very hot, the first thing that you do is you touch the plate, see how hot it is. So when they say don't sing Delilah, guess what happened when people were bored? It was always going
to happen, wasn't it? But they I saw somebody put an article out there about they picked apart some other songs that people sing. Do you know what I mean, like, some of the English songs, Scottish songs?
You could pick a multitude of songs.
But like that song's been out for years. Where are we going with this? Do you know what I mean? We're going to get to the point where we're not going to be able to sing anything.
Put all that aside, rugby was back. It was a sold out crowd, give or take. There was a massive atmosphere, carnival atmosphere, before the game, during the game, before the game and after the game.
I love town on a Saturday,
and it was brilliant, and it was absolutely heaving, and there was a few drunk people probably even before the game, but it was lovely to be back to the 2019 Six Nations again. Park put to bed.
Park that. Book will be out now.
Book is out.
We call this Monday, so Wednesday we are in now. Book will be live.
I think we've done very well so far.
Links in the comments. Comments in the bio at the bottom.
Technology.
Top.
You're getting technology involved now in a book. It's everywhere. Superb. The concept of Amazon. I know it was originally set up as a bookseller, but as a
bookstore, wasn't it?
Publishing site now. Second to none. It is absolutely brilliant, and a lot of it is press A, twist B, turn C. It is systematic, but there is a lot of things that can go wrong. So we've done very well to get to that stage, and
I think you've done very well to come to that stage, because you've done the technology side on this one.
Amazing, isn't it?
No, it's not really my wheelhouse.
And nothing has gone wrong yet.
Well, yeah. It will be all right. We'll be all right. It'll be out there. So yes, it's good.
Click in, and it will be superb.
We'd love you to buy a copy, please, or 2 or 3. Actually, if you're a business and you buy 2 copies, we'll give you a session for all your staff on money management and actually money mindset, which is a big thing now. So buy 2 or more, and you'll get a free session. Just send us an email with the receipt on. You've bought 2, and away you go. But that's the hardback, not 2.99p Kindles.
Yeah.
It's only going to cost you just shy of 16 quid, so you'll be all right.
I hope there's no tea left in that cup. It's not going to fall on you, is it?
No, I drank that. My lovely flowery birdie mug.
When you've seen over the last few days, since kind of Friday, Saturday onwards, with social media and the amount of traction that people are commenting and liking and all that, a lot of people know of the book and a lot of bought it so far.
Probably bored of us now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry about that. We'll stop for a little bit after Wednesday, and then you'll have it again. But no,
I love the one you've done on Monday. The countdown. It's like Christmas when you put that post out on Monday. Didn't you? Countdown to Christmas.
It's
like
it's Christmas. Yeah.
And
2 more sleeps.
You know, everyone was waiting on the Tuesday, going, "Oh, I know what they're going to put out now today." If it was 2 days to go yesterday,
you wait till Wednesday when you spam continuously. No, but no, we're really kind of proud of this book, and we really want people to support us, and because you're going to learn something. It's not the book's not out there to line our pockets. That's not what it's about, because actually we'll make much money from actually anyone who buys the book, especially the Kindle one. But it's actually about educating people about money, because that's the big thing. That's what the book is all about, and we got more to come with that.
78p, I think, per book. I think that's roughly what we get.
What we make?
Yeah.
Was it like 30p on a Kindle?
If that, yeah. So it's not. Somebody asked me at the rugby on the weekend, because I was prostituting myself with a book. will it change my life? And I was sitting there when, do you know, it
Only if it becomes a Times bestseller.
yeah. It won't change your life like that. But there are things in there, anecdotes and little stories, that will make you think and will make you probably change some habits or behaviours. So indirectly, yes, it will change your life. But it's not going to be, there's nothing, no miracle cure in there for making you rich or anything like that. It just is a different way of thinking about the concept of money and happiness, which indirectly over time, when you read it, digest it, and put it into your own thinking, probably will change some habits that you learnt or had or didn't realise that you did have.
Yeah, definitely 100%.
Book 2 is on the way. I had an idea last week about book 3, but
I do think though we turn the one we've got into a kids book version. That's a separate conversation. I'm not talking little kids, but probably younger kids version of the book. It's doable.
Well, you've done a lot of talking in universities the last few months. I'm into a few talking in front of a few schools in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I don't understand the schooling system. Year 6s. So is that the one just before they go to secondary school?
Well, yeah. So year 6 or sixth form, are we talking? Yeah, sixth form. That there's 2 years.
Is it primary school?
Oh, primary school.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not 100% sure how that works.
I was told don't go in with much.
You go into comprehensive at 11 years old. So
okay. Just a few people have said to me that are teachers and stuff like that, going, those 11-year-olds, don't go in with much content that you want to give out. Bring in a bit, because they're going to ask you every single question, which is brilliant. They just want to know the direct stuff. So it's brilliant.
Nice.
So it'll be a bit of fun.
Nice.
And I'm not nervous about talking to anyone. However, sitting in front of 4 groups of 30 kids who basically don't care. They'll just go straight to the point. It is a bit going...
What do they say in, like, when you present it, don't work with animals, kids, or technology?
Yeah. I have a bit of fun with them. I'm going to basically go in with the idea of going, I will be 100% honest and transparent. You can ask me any question you want and I'll answer it. But you can't be sly, because one person will ask a question and I'll go there and they'll want to dig further. I'll say, you only get one question on that category, so be careful what you ask.
No swearing, okay? That's all you got to remember.
They probably know more swear words than myself.
Yeah, probably.
Talking about swear words, Bank of England base rates.
4%. They say that was their target for, but then they changed that. It was 4.5, 4.25, 5, 4.75. Don't think they really know, to be honest. Is it going to make a difference? No.
Because we gave out the mortgage course some time ago, do you think, and you're more knowledgeable on the mortgage side, back, when was it, October, November, there was bad people working in finance, I'll say it that way, that were saying interest rates were going to go up. Come to us now, as in a mortgage person, pay 4, 5, 6 grand penalty to come out of your deal because it'll be better long term. Now,
and they were getting rates of like 6% then, 6%.
And if interest rates are going to start to come down,
which they have,
are these people going to go, come now, 6 months later, pay another 6 grand?
Of course they will.
And we'll get you a lower, because longer term. Now,
of course they will. That's what
if
those people are
somebody
out there
paid
to do.
6 grand penalties in 8 months is 12 grand to save £80 a month or £140 a month over 2 years, because it's never a 5-year deal that they do. They have to be very careful.
They don't care though.
No, they don't. But the people that have the debt, the mortgage,
because they rely on people being scared. They rely on emotions, these people, to con them. And that's what all these con people do. They're relying on the panic of the Bank of England base rates. But you just sit tight. If your rate is due up in the next 6 months, get in touch with the mortgage broker. Get in touch with us. We'll give you advice. The rates are changing all the time. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. And I get asked this all the time. Where do you think this is going? Yeah. Well, I don't have a crystal ball.
But you could see last October, November, when people were going, what do you think it'll be next May or June? And we're only 3 or 4 months later, and it's potentially coming down.
Well, I did say that. I said by the summer you'll see rates will probably kind of settle a little bit, and they'll probably be around about where they're going to sit for a while.
Is that the panic that somebody that wasn't due out of their deal, let's say till next May, panicked because of people instilling fear in social media on them. They paid a penalty to come out at 3%. They paid $6,000 of a penalty to come out at 3%, saying, we'll get you 6 now, but if you wait till next May, it could be 8. Now, if you go forward, that 3% that they waited until next May, June, might be 4, but it might not be the 8 or 6 or whatever they're paying at the moment. And they've paid a penalty to come out to pay more, potentially, than they would pay in a few months' time.
I think, because no one ever did a calculation where actually, could you afford your mortgage? It was all about just trying to get the lowest rate possible.
Lowest rate, yeah.
Without actually looking at what the figures were like. And, if you took a tracker rate back then, they were low, and they still are quite low now. It's a little bit closer on the fixed than the tracker. But it's just crooks. I'll call them crooks because that's what they are within our profession or industry.
Here's another question.
Who will just capitalise.
Was the last 10, 12 years
abnormal?
And is this... Is the next few years, is this what normal is going to be, which it was maybe back in late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, well, if you look at the average Bank of England base rate, was about, I think I looked at this one, it's like 9% since 1975. Something like that. The average base rate is around about 9%. But we've had this long period since the credit crunch 2008, 2009, whereby the base rate has been the lowest it's ever been, if you look historically. So yeah, we've been in like times of such. I don't think we'll go back to that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I might be totally wrong. I'd like to think interest rates will kind of plateau out around about the 3, maybe late 2s, early 3s, in the 3.5, in the 4s.
But you could have had a 25-year-old in 08, 09 starting off on the property ladder at 1.5%, 2% or something. They've done 14 years of this. They've overstretched themselves. They've had a good lifestyle because their debt repayment is probably very low. They've maybe overstretched. And now the harsh reality is, they've done a 35-year deal or something. They're not even halfway, and the rates have rocketed up. But they've never known anything other than the very, very good times, which was almost unnatural.
And that's exactly it. People just haven't known.
This is terrible now. Well, it's not terrible. It's just normality returning. The last few years were extremely good for you. Yeah. You should have been potentially paying even if it was 50 quid a month overpayment or something, just trying to reduce debt when you could afford it massively. But how many people could afford the mortgage that they were on, or overstretch themselves to get a bigger house? Now things are biting. And you add in all the silly numbers that British Gas or wherever they are sending to people now, and it's starting to become difficult for people.
But that's why I think you've got to go back and look at your budgeting. You've got to have a look at your ingos and outgoes. Look at your bank statements. Grab 6 months, but see where you're spending money. We've got a spreadsheet which we're going to put up on our Sanctuary Educate platform, which people can buy, and they can work their budget out. But that's the thing. People are probably, if they have a look at it, they're probably overspend in areas. How many times they eating out a week? How many takeaways they have in a week? How many Starbucks they have in a week? I'm not saying by cutting down to like 1 Starbucks a week from 5 is gonna solve the problem. It probably isn't. I think you just need to look across the whole spectrum of your budget and go, well, actually, where am I spending money?
Do you know, this is a really valid point, and we chatted. A friend of mine, Michael, that came over from Ireland on the weekend to watch the rugby. He said, "This is brilliant. I don't have to go and get sterling anymore." What do you mean? I just tap and go on my phone. And on Sunday, when I was bringing him to the airport, I went, "How much you spend on the weekend?" No idea.
What's the problem?
And now he's able to afford it. But he's wise enough to budget for that. But because it wasn't all on his current account, buying a pint, a program. We when we came into town on Saturday, he went, "I need a hat. I forgot my hat. I've left it in your house." So he went, "Oh, have you got any cash?" I went, "No." And he saw a guy doing tap and go on the sellers
on the street.
Yeah. So he went, "How much is that?"
Got
8
it,
quid. And he went, "Bing, done." But we went to a pub afterwards, and we were going bing, bing, bing. So he had no concept, and he had quite a few. I was reserved. I had the handbrake on. He didn't because he was in a different country. I hope you enjoyed it, Michael. But it was like spend. Now that's a one. When you're going away on a little job, you can get away with it. But how many people are living like the ping, ping, ping? So you go into Costa, and if you have a £5 on you, Starbucks, whatever it may be, you might get this coffee. But if you go, I'll have a latte with skimmed milk and and I'll have a cookie and I'll have, and you go, that's $7.25, and you don't even listen because it just goes bing. Now, at the end of the month, if you're doing that 3 times a day, and I'm only using the coffee because I know people will struggle to give up on the coffee, but that can be any aspect of spending whatsoever. Shopping, fuel, toys for the kids, new shoes, whatever it may be. We have no attachment to cash anymore.
You can't even spend. Like, you couldn't even say, because one of the tricks you could say is, right, take some money out at the beginning of the week and that's your budget for the spending it. But you try and find somebody who'll take all your cash now.
All the bars in the stadium on the weekend, there was lots of Irish guys over and in front of me going, can I pay you? And going, contact
most coffee shops now are cashless.
Yeah. So there is
I've tried to pay with cash. There is a massive weekend. Disconnect. Like, no, we don't take cash. Brilliant.
There's a massive disconnect with people understanding how much you're spending on a weekly basis. That's the scary part. Again, I go back to it's a lifestyle crisis, not a living crisis. But when you don't know how much you're spending, you don't know how much you're taking out of your account. When you don't know how much you're taking out of your account, you actually don't know how much is left in there. And if you just use one account for your direct debits and all that, the poo can hit the fan, because potentially if you overspend on a weekend and you think there's money in there, or you're due to get paid from your employer, and the money is late, and your mortgage it doesn't get paid or something defaults, it's a massive thing. So the concept of spending and that hopefully will be born through and give some people a few more ideas with the book. So as you say, it's on some link or something. Just connect.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for buying it so far. And those that haven't, we'll come after you.
Get buying it. Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed this episode, then please subscribe and remember to follow us on social media for more content like this.